Bimbo is back, and as a feminist, couldn't be more delighted. Snap, snap, snap. And then there's another article being like, this bimbo shit's nonsense.
Yeah.
The real feminists aren't bimbos, you know?
No.
So we're going to go to the first one, then the second
I mean,
one.
there's no such thing as a real feminist. There's just people's definitions of them.
This is where it's...
I mean, again, some people are like, yeah, I fucking did like a 50-guy gangbang. That's real feminism, right? And
then this other person's
I don't know
like,
about that.
I raised my, kids, and I have a trad wife, and actually cooking is really feminist. Well, basically, they made it so if you're a girl, you really gotta have this identity. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's very hard to be like just an average girl and just be like, I'm actually against feminism without having to fight every second of your life. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I think for these people, a lot of them just, they have to go, whatever I like, that's feminist. So like, I'm actually a bimbo, and everyone's been giving me shit for not being a feminist. Like, actually, bimbo is feminism. Right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the thing. But there was another thing that was interesting to me, that I watched this movie, and I think I was talking to you about this, right? And it was called The Decline of Western Civilization. It's about punk and the circle jerks and all this. And it's kind of some of the things that I've been saying forever was, that the first people that start movements are always like very anti-establishment, and then the movements all become establishment, and then they become run by girls, then they become infighting. You know what I mean? Yep. And the same thing when you have like a workplace and you have like a group chat, or you have like a Facebook group where everyone gets to talk in. It's always the least productive members that kind of, start fighting and blah, 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 right? But the really interesting thing about this was the guys in this thing. They interviewed a lot of guys, and all the guys were like, first of all, I didn't realize how much these punks hated hippies. Like when first punks came out, they were like, fucking hippie pieces.
Hippies are the worst. Yeah.
They're like, these fucking hippie losers, fuck these pussies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're kind of badass. And every guy was like, I'm just different from the world. Like, I don't need anyone else. We're fucking living life different. And every girl that they interviewed was like, everyone should just be able to prove that they're different, and more people should come and be different like us. It was so interesting. Every guy was like, I'm different from everyone else, that's why I'm this. And every girl was like, more people should be accepted, and if they were just actually a punk, they should be able to just be a punk. And it's nothing wrong with having green hair, and if you want to have it was
like the not cool way of describing
it was night and day. But it's interesting where it's like, the new, like a lot of times punk, when it was the hate hippies, now it kind of became hippies.
Yeah.
So I bet you the original hippies were probably better than the hippies that took over after them too. Because original hippies were like fighting wars, and the other hippies were like, let's do heroin.
Well, that's the thing, is the original hippies then became the yuppies, and then they were like the ones who were running the country and everything. They were like, oh,
there was a step in between there though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's the punks, I think.
Oh, I see. Yeah. No, I was saying that like, the hippies first were that, and then the hippies second were like, love, man, like, let's just get high and kind of like do nothing.
Yeah.
And then the third, but some of the original hippies probably weren't hippies anymore once it became that.
Yeah.
And that's when they became
the establishment.
Some of them, not all of them, obviously.
Not all, no. But
sure that.
No, there's a lot of you go to a Grateful Dead show, you see the ones that never crossed over. They're still stuck in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. So the bimbo is very much that, where it's like, everything that they're doing, they should be like if I'm a bimbo, they just want to be like, well, everyone should be this. You know what I mean?
There you go. That's fine.
And they said, we've already reclaimed terms like queer, babe, and slut. And TikTok is helping to make skimpily dressed girls respectable. But it's also...
By the way, the idea of reclaiming words, like... Yeah, you have reclaimed a word, but let me call you it 20 times and see how much you still feel like it's yours.
The reclaiming didn't work all that great, if you're being honest, right?
Let me call you a slut like 20 times in like the meanest way I can and see how good you feel about owning that word.
That's exactly what it is. They're like, we reclaimed it, but it's like, did you really though?
You fucking slut. And you go, oh.
Yeah, you're a fucking slut. Hey, babe. Yeah, on the side of the road, you walk by, hey, babe. It's your word. What do you mean? I thought you reclaimed it. But yeah, they're saying that if you haven't heard of Bimbo TikTok, then it's time to wake up and smell the lip gloss. It's a subsection of TikTok where self-proclaimed bimbos are proudly reclaiming the title. And there's no Mimbo TikTok yet. It's only girl
Mimbo
TikTok. Well, but basically the gist is it's a bunch of girls that, their whole thing is they, date older men and they pay for everything and they don't work. And they've also sort of slid in that like it's actually anti-capitalist to just not work.
I can see that.
You're sort of against. It's very anti-capitalist to have a guy that pays for everything for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
How does he get his money?
That's where it falls apart a little bit. Nah. And also they are providing a service, a full-time girlfriend, basically. That's one of the things. Like actually, cooking is anti-capitalist too, because you make you and your husband's food, and then he doesn't have to.
Hey, and you don't invoice him like that one psycho,
and he doesn't have to go and buy it from McDonald's, and you don't support a corporate chain.
Yeah, good for them.
Good for him. You won't catch me trying to stand in the way of evolving language. Take my own sexuality. So this is the first time she actually thought she might stand in the way of evolving language. I experimented with identifying as pansexual, only to find out from Twitter that I'd accidentally erased bisexuality.
Whoops.
Whoopsie daisy. Well, her name was Mud at this point. And she said, I didn't know that I was able to do that, let alone all by myself. I don't know if I've ever felt simultaneous sadness, shame, and incredible power, but it's very confusing. Eventually, I settled on queer as my personal badge of honor. So imagine the horror.
Sick badge of honor.
I know. It's pretty funny calling it a badge of honor.
Badge of honor.
There's nothing better than a badge of honor.
Yeah, you and 50% of all adolescent girls. Sick badge of honor.
Yeah. The badge of honor. Well, she's found a new badge of honor, and that's a bimbo.
How do you go from queer to bimbo?
Well, she's a bimbo queer.
Oh.
Bimbo queer core.
Can you be gross and be a bimbo?
But is that not, that's why I brought the punk thing. Like, do you tell me that's not the same thing where she's like, like the same where it was like, punk metal speedcore or whatever is the same reason that this is like, pansexual queer bimbo core.
Yeah.
Like they're just adding sort of a bit to the genre.
Can you be like a 300-pound bimbo in a scooter?
No, I think the bimbos have to be hot.
You got to be hot, right?
Well, this is another part of it that I think
it's very exclusionary.
It's very exclusionary, and I think that you hit the nail on the head with that, because one of the reasons was if you're like a hot chick, like a lot of girls were like, feminism is all about, Lena Dunham getting naked and having armpit hair and being a beast, right?
Yeah.
And then hot girls were like, yeah, okay. And then after a while, hot girls were like, or you can be hot too. And you know what I mean?
For sure. Well, I'm sure they want to be feminists as well because they're women. And they go, I want to be a feminist. And they go, and then
that's where girl
and then people just
was.
assume they're disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And then on top of that, lo and behold, these hot chicks videos are doing a little better. Right. So the hot chick feminist movement is getting more traction than the like, hello. Men suck.
Yeah, the Jabba the Hutts aren't doing as well.
Right. Her thing is more like, these girls are like, I'm a hot piece of ace and I get guys to pay for everything, but somehow it's for feminism, right?
Yeah.
So she says she was the horror, and she goes, I can imagine.
What did you say? The horror?
The horror.
Oh, the horror.
No, I said the horror that she was dealing with.
He said the horror. I go, whoa.
So anyways, the horror says that.
So what'd that horror say?
I can picture my 6-year-old in a decade's time muttering to his mates, oh my God, did you hear my mom just said neurodivergent? Because she's saying it moves really quickly, right? Yeah. So that's another one. She's, pansexual, neurodivergent, queercore, right?
What do you think he's going to be like? Well, did you hear? My mom said, Mom, it's not neurodivergent. It's retard. It's the year 2033. Get with it, Mom.
Exactly. We back. A prominent self-proclaimed bimbo, Chaplex, described bimbo as being a leftist who likes to have her tits out. So when we've been saying that, ladies, if you're going to protest, get the puppies out.
Get the puppies out.
Put the puppies out. I'm not here to tell you everything what to do. All I'm saying is, listen, If you get the puppies out, your protest is going to get more coverage. It's a little something for the people that didn't want to have the protest. They're probably less likely to complain. Because if you streak through a soccer game, people are going to be mad. If you got your puppies out, your opposition's going to let the protest happen because they're getting to see puppies.
What's the saying? You catch more flies with honey.
You catch more flies with honey. I mean, but those people aren't going to listen anyway, but they're just not going to shut it down as much when the pups are out.
Absolutely.
So there's one thing that ladies should know about protesting is you should always be naked.
Unless you're gross.
And then you should be wearing
cover
a
up double.
I mean, we shouldn't have to tell you this. This should be protesting.
It's common sense.
They should be teaching.
Just A/B test it, you know?
Exactly.
2 different messages, 2 different people. See which one works better.
Yeah, scantily clad. I will say, if it's online and you're nasty, I think you could still go nude because there's going to be a demo for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're trying to reach like an appeal to a mass audience, like a full football field, or you're like in a crowd of people, you're going to want to cover that up. If you're nasty and if you're hot, you're going to want to get the guns out. It's pretty simple stuff. They should be teaching this 101 of poli-sci.
This should be elementary school stuff they should be teaching you. This should be like with sex ed.
Well, you'd like that, you fucking pervert.
I'm a groomer. I'm a groomer teacher. I've been grooming.
Well, all I'm saying is if Danny gets to go to the schools and groom teachers, then I should. Well, I actually did a joke about that stuff this weekend, and this guy comes up to me and he goes, "You know what's crazy?" He goes, "I'm a
pedophile, and I." He goes, "Have you ever considered this angle for that joke?"
He goes, "You know what's wild? I'm a pedophile." He said, "I've had to kick. I was what's the
principal? Superintendent
Chalmers, yeah.
Superintendent Chalmers.
He was superintendent, like Superintendent Chalmers, which is higher than principal. And he said he's kicked 4 people out of that for being pervs.
Yeah.
So they're out there.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. But I don't know if they're, it's hard to say because it's all I'm hearing about lately, that it's hard to say what the extent, but I do have an article about that stuff so that we can give one for that side. But the BIMBO TikToks, so now we're talking, the tits are out, but it's for leftism.
Yeah.
TikTok revolutionary bimbos hold firm that women can wear whatever they want, however revealing it is. Yes, they're against the far right, including pro-lifers. So basically, you can do whatever you want, wear whatever you want, have whatever job you want, but you don't like you like abortions and you don't like the far right.
By the way, if you need an abortion, I would get that in the next week or 2.
You think they're going?
They might be going.
In Florida, you mean?
I mean, apparently the Supreme Court goes on recess in, I think, like a week or 10 days or something, end of the month. So we're going to get some decisions.
So are you going to try
we're going to
try to buzzer beat it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, we're going to be getting decisions on guns in New York, which that might be a wild one. They might literally be like, yeah, you can conceal carry in New York City as of like a week from now.
The federal government's going to say that?
Yeah. The Supreme Court. Wild. Yeah, so those would be guns. It'll be like Texas here. In New York City.
That'd be interesting. Do you think that'll help or hurt?
I think it'll help.
Like if you have a bunch of, Texan type.
Well, I mean, the people who already walk around with guns in New York City, this is not going to affect them. It's just the people who'd like to defend themselves against those people who will now have their guns.
Yeah, those people aren't being.
But
like,
the people,
like
the people who are already doing like the criminals, they're like, this does not affect us one way or another. I'm not registering my illegal gun, and I'm going to carry it anyway.
Exactly. Well, that'd be interesting if it actually. That would be nuts if they did it, and then the stats like completely changed, where it was like murders were like way down, and then they'd have to be like.
I mean, I'll tell you, there'll be less people fucking around on the subways. That's for sure. If people think that there's tons of guns all of a sudden.
You're saying the people that do the dances on the thing and sort of kick you in the face.
The pull-ups and the.
Is it however revealing it is? They're against the far right, and they're fiercely inclusive, carefully inviting all genders to revel in their glorious bimbodom. So it sounds pretty feminist to me. Lovely. And so basically super hot chicks, these girls haven't getting much pushback because they're super hot. But this is, that's the hot girl community sort of saying we're still feminists, and this is the new feminist, and actually having someone pay for all your stuff's feminist. But there's still some of the old guard, not so fast, because this girl did a big thing on Substack that went kind of viral, and she says, bimbos and the bimbos and the backlash, and log line was, no, we are not hot.
We are gross. Respect us.
She says, no, we're not going to let fucking these bimbos take over feminism. Feminism is about being gross. It's about growing armpit hair.
Yeah.
and it's about
not working out.
not working out. So bimbo talk, and this girl's not happy. She goes, one of the growing corners of social media disguised as leftism, where female independence, women having any sort of a power, and feminism itself is deemed uncool, while assessing women based on their physical attractiveness. And her whole take is, she goes, this is the patriarchy at work,
of course,
and men. And I go, I promise you, bimbo TikTok, men are not involved.
No, it's what was the word that was used?
It's you told women
internal misogyny.
You're right.
This is internalized misogyny.
Well, she's even gone farther than that to be like, it's actual misogyny. She's saying like, this is conservatives like convincing.
Yeah, you're getting tricked.
Yes, but really what's happening was you gave these girls an option where you go, hey, hot chick, get not hot. And then, say all this fucking shit online. And after like 6 months of that, all of them were like, my life is way worse.
Yeah, so I did your little experiment.
Yeah.
It's not working out.
So I was working way better when dudes were buying me trips to Ibiza.
Yeah, my credit score's lower.
Yeah, no, this stinks. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, this is.
How about I'll tell you what. How about I do all the things you were saying, but I'm fucking hot and guys pay for all my stuff. And she goes, no. I go, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Still going to be pro-abortion, but I'm
going to be I'm going to basically becoming an actress. Yeah. Yes, this is anti-feminism, even if it's coming from some version of the left, and even if it's cast as a joke. A significant number of young women are seeing this version of feminism peddled as the new edgy on social media. It is, well, I guess they became the mainstream now, so the edgy is like, I'm a bimbo.
Yeah, I'm a huge whore.
No, they were down with being whores before.
I feel like this one's not.
They were just not.
She was like the bra burning.
You think so?
Like she's like old school. Where
it's
she goes,
possible.
Fuck this bra stuff.
My thing is more, she was down with being like a whore or whatever. Her thing was, she's just not down with you getting any money in return. If anything, I pay the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's reverse prostitution.
Unless you're a sex worker and then she thinks it's fine.
Yeah.
She doesn't like the arrangement where, that is the funny part of it, the sex work one, where they're like, I'm very against the arrangement where like a guy has a husband and he pays for things and she raises the kids. But I'm very fine with the arrangement where she comes to a hotel room and has sex with him.
It's transactions, baby.
Yeah. She likes it. She likes it transactional, but she doesn't like when a relationship's organized that way.
No.
But if you put it on a contract, if you call your wife a sex worker, I think they're fine with it now. That's pretty funny, calling your chick a sex worker. Oh, I'm paying for stuff. My wife's actually a sex worker. What happened? It's like, well, I don't know. She would bang a few times a week and I pay for most stuff.
Yeah. Explain to me how she's not one.
Woo! Oh, these are our girls. They're sex workers.
What's that?
These are our girlfriends. They're sex workers.
Oh, yeah.
So she goes, it's just very old, boring conservatism. So she's saying bimbo is boring conservatism. But I guess their TikToks don't seem that boring compared to your, Elizabeth Warren fucking armpit hair versions, right?
No.
The stay-at-home girlfriend, the trad wife. These are retrograde stories, and they're being sold as liberation. And then she argues with the people. So this is what they said. No more Instagrams about rising and grinding. No more the wing. No more straining to be smarter than the boys. Bimboism offers... Bimboism sounds good, eh? Bimboism is offering an opposing... and refreshing premise, value me, look at me, not because I'm smart and diligent, but for the fact that I'm not. It's anti-capitalism, it's even anti-work. So this is their pitch. And then she responded to that in her piece, and she says, let me say first that women were never straining to be smarter than men.
Yeah, they were.
You can fucking put that opinion in your hat and then eat your hat. And the characterization says a whole lot more about the presumed abilities of women and men. Well, they're bimbos.
They're bimbos.
They're bimbos.
Bimbo culture.
So the bimbos were trying hard to be smarter than men. They're bimbos.
Yeah. Isn't that the whole premise of Legally Blonde?
Mm-hmm. Legally Blonde, the girl actually was smart.
But that's what I'm saying. But she has to prove it because she's a bimbo.
Yeah, she has to prove
smart
it because she's a bimbo. I mean, I have everyone. I always said that like everyone always thinks I'm super stupid. And that's one of the reasons I feel like I'm good at like street interviews.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I feel like a lot of times I'm talking to people and they're just like, man, this guy's retarded. That like allows me to fucking
get a little sneaky there.
Yeah, same with stand up. Like so much of like if you're not like really stupid and everyone thinks you're really stupid, you can do so much with that.
Oh yeah. Isn't that from the 48
It
Laws
is
of
one
Power?
of the 48 Laws
the rake,
of Power, yeah.
Right?
Is it the rake?
I think it was the rake.
I don't know which one it is, but it is true.
Yeah. It was one of them.
But it's with audiences, with everything. The rise of the leftist bimbo is not an isolated TikTok trend. It's part of a greater backlash against women competing with men. So men have nothing to do with that, so she's completely wrong about that.
I read that article and all I heard was blah, blah, blah.
Fellas, this is the New Clips channel. Right now, we're at 3K. Hit us with a subscribe. Let's get those numbers up. Very much appreciated. Let's get to 5K at the very least. All right. Thank you. Peace.